Despite me being addicted to buying Transformers, I'm not really involved with the media. I don't really watch any shows, or I don't even really watch the movies. I don't even plan on watching Transformers 1 anytime soon. So I might be a fake fan. I just collect the toys because they're cool. So aside from a bit of Bayverse nostalgia, I don't really know any other continuities that well. Especially this one. Leader Class Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. I think he's from G2, but I still got this guy because I do think he looks pretty cool. Appearance-wise, he looks nice. I really like his design. I like his shoulder pads. I really like just his aura, I guess. He has a very nice overall look to him. But specifically, I really like his sculpting. As you can see, he is sculpted very, very nicely. Loki does remind me of Bayverse sculpting, which might be the reason why I like him so much. The shoulder things are very detailed. I really like these panel linings on the legs. It does sort of look like a Gundam, and it would be really cool having these panel lines picked out in some black or something. But yeah, very nice sculpting, very cool. And in terms of paint as well, he is painted not that well. The only paint really is just this front section right here. Everywhere below here is completely unpainted, which is quite disappointing, not gonna lie. But the paint that they have on him is very good. I really like the metallic paint they have. The yellow accents on this bit really works with the overall figure. I just wish they painted the lower body. Getting a closer look at the head sculpt. It's a very nice head sculpt. I really like this Optimus Prime head sculpt. I don't know if it's accurate, but I think it's so cool. However, the eyes do look a bit dead, and I thought maybe that's because of light piping, but no, he has no light piping. They could have painted his eyes a brighter color just to make it stand out a bit. I do wish they painted his eyes sort of like how they did here. I think that would make him a lot better. But proportions-wise, as I said before, I do like his overall look, but there are some specific bits that can be quite weird. Where, for example, his legs are quite long. I don't know if this is accurate, but I think they're a bit long. So from here to here, which is like 70% of his body. More than 70 actually, like 80% of his body, which is quite weird. Also, his arms are quite skinny, especially in the bicep area, but it is helped by these cauldrons. I guess they do take away from this and this a bit, because they do pull the attention up here. If you think about this figure logically, the proportions can be a bit distracting. However, for me, since I don't think at all, I don't really see it as an issue. This guy does have quite a few play features, which is quite fun. His shoulder cauldrons can open up to reveal these really nice clear blue plastic missiles. I think they look so cool, and I do appreciate that. These thingies also have 5mm ports, so you can plug blast effects into it. While I do appreciate them, it is sort of hard to make it work because they are sort of solid. They don't hinge at all. On the box, it shows him clearly hinging it. So, quite sad. I do wish they would have made these rotate. I think it would be a lot cooler if they did, because it would let you get him in some really cool poses. Speaking of posing, the head is on a ball joint, which can rotate all the way around, can look down that far, can look up that far, but you can sort of cheat it and untab it to make it look up more. The arms can go up that far, can go back that far, can go out 90 degrees. There is a rotation above the bicep, 90-degree elbow, a ball joint in the hand, a waist swivel, legs can kick out 90 degrees, back 90 degrees, out 90 degrees. There's a swivel above the thigh, more than 90 knee bend, a good pivot, toe down, and that's it. Posability for Laser Optimus Prime is pretty good. You can get him into some decent poses, though it's sort of hard to make it work because of these shoulder gadgets. I'd say posability is good, but it's hard to work with. And all of this could have been fixed if they just added some posability in the actual shoulders. Another thing to note, his head is quite far back on his shoulders. I guess like logically, if he turns his head, he can't really see anything. Like all he would see is just his shoulder. So he's basically stuck just looking forward if you want to make any coherent pose. And his backpack is pretty good. It's just really this cap section. I don't really have that much of an issue. What's this? I just discovered something right now. That inside his backpack, there's this like sort of hinge. Where you can hinge this back and forth. I don't know what it's used for. It's not involved with anything. Let me know if you guys have any idea what this is for. Going back to play features, he does have a matrix right here. And if you want to remove it, you just lift up the silver section and you can just take it out. And here's the matrix. Pretty cool. I like it. I think it's a cool matrix. I don't have that many matrices. He can hold it in his hands because they made his hands open. Not sure if you can get it in both of his hands, but I'll try. No, you can't. It's too difficult, but he can hold it in one hand like this. And that is not the only thing he can hold. He also comes with this like weird circular axe and this sword. So he can hold them separately, or you can put the sword in the hole in the axe. You can make a giant sword. I'm not really a fan of the axe. I do think it looks a bit weird, but I am a fan of the sword. I think the sword does look pretty cool. I do like the use of clear plastic. The axe can also fold up like that for storage. And specifically, it can store in his included trailer. His trailer is the reason why he's a leader class transformer. I'll just convert it into its base mode first. There is his base mode. He has a turret which can swivel, and this turret as well can swivel by itself, can go down. He has a repair arm for the vehicle mode, which I think is quite a nice play feature. As you can see, it's quite detailed in terms of sculpting. It's a lot of sculpting. And the weapons can store using this small peg right there and these two small pegs up here. Sorry, not this peg, but these two. It has a lot of ports here, so you can put weapons in it. I think this is quite functional. I do like it, but I'm just not a fan of trailers in general. I would rather like a larger, more detailed figure. An example of a trailer that works pretty well is the Laser Optimus Prime's trailer. Okay, wait, look, I'm not me writing. I'm not glazing Bayverse, but I think it does it very well. And another example that's not related to Bayverse is Motor Master. I think they do it really well. And I think that the Laser Prime's trailer is average. It's in the middle. It's not the worst, but it's not the best as well. So that trailer is the reason why this guy is a leader class transformer, despite being Voyager scale. For example, here is him with Voyager Optimus Prime, and as you can see, they are similar in size. And here is him with a leader class, my previous review, and a deluxe class. Before we get into transformation, I would also like to note that his head does come undone very easily. This doesn't really tab in at all. And it does come undone a lot when you mess around and move the head. Okay, let's transform him. Transformation was pretty fun. It is simple, but there are some steps that are really interesting and really unique, especially just within the abdomen area in general. I really like how the abdomen area folds inside out to make the sides of the truck. The one thing to say is that the lower abdomen part does fall off quite often, but it is easy to reattach. So very nice transformation. I don't really have too much issue with it. The truck mode we end up with is quite familiar. It does sort of look like Laser Optimus Prime. which could be the reason why I like this truck mode a lot. It looks very nice. It does sort of remind me of a Bayverse and Nemesis Prime, which I think is very cool. Painting is very nice. I really like how they picked out these headlights, outlining them in yellow and silver on the inside. And this surrounding area of the cab is all clear blue plastic going around to the back, and the rest is unpainted. But the wheels are painted in a silver. And in terms of kibble, he doesn't really have that much kibble at all. It's just these two bits and these feet. And the back kibble can be covered up with the trailer, where if you fold down the stand, you can use that peg to tab into that hole right there. This I really like. I really like it when truck modes have trailers. I know that's contradictory because I just said that I like big leader classes without trailers, but this in truck mode, I would say that it does look really good. It just completes the look. I really like trailers in alt mode, and it does suit him very, very well. The trailer now is basically unpainted except for that red thing going along the side and the wheels. Here's the back. Even though it is unpainted, it is insanely detailed. It looks very good, and I would say that this together makes him look really cool. So let's get him into some size comparisons. Here is Laser Prime with Studio Series Optimus Prime, a deluxe class, my previous review, and Grimlock. Before we end the review, I would also like to talk about the one issue I have with this vehicle mode, which involves these side cylinder things. They do not lock in at all, so whenever you go play with them, they just go in way too easily. It could have easily been fixed by just making it lock into place, but the fact that they're loose is really sad, and it really does take away from how satisfying this guy is to hold. But that is really my only issue with this truck mode. And the trailer, I do use it to store my weapons or blast effects. So for example, here is Transmetal 2 Megatron's blast effect, which really has no storage place. And so I will just put it in there and leave it in there. So I do think it does have some uses. So I'm not really that against it, but I can see why it would be annoying if you had like 6 of these from different figures. Alright, it's time for the conclusion. Robot mode is nice. I think it looks very cool. Sculpting is really nice. Painting could use a bit of work, but I think the robot mode does have some bits that are quite weird, including the proportions and the shoulders not moving. I guess the robot mode can be a hit or miss, just depending on your personal preference. And in my opinion, I think it looks cool. Vehicle mode, with the trailer, I do think it's better than the robot mode. It just looks so complete with the trailer. I just wish the gas canisters locked in place. And so, can I recommend him? Not for full price. So if he's on sale and you like his design, I think you should get him.